What's up everybody, it's the Higgs here. If you didn't see Friday's episode, I have had a little bit of oral surgery over the weekend. I'm a little bit swollen, a little bit painful, and my speech is a little bit slurred. So if I collapse during this video in a pile of my own drool and blood, I apologize. So with E3 now just about 2 weeks away, I thought we'd take a moment to have a look on what's coming up this year. Specifically, I'm talking stuff that I'm excited about or interested in for this year, E3 2015. First, let's jump into the sequels. E3 has got a lot of pansy-ass, easy money-making sequels on the docket this year. It's hard for me to get psyched about sequels because so often they're just a complete and utter letdown, but here are some that I think might be okay. First up, we've got Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Now, if you're a fan of the series, this first step in the massive expansion of the universe is surely going to wet your cyberpunky whistle. Mankind Divided is the beginning of a vast multimedia project that will see Deus Ex brought into more games, mini-games, graphic novels, books, and condom wrappers. Alright, I made one of those up. Next up is probably the one that I am most tenuous about on this list. It's Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, some people have been waiting for this one for a long time. Others, like me, loved the series originally but are so confused about the convoluted storyline and offshoot titles that they're left with a sigh of relief that this will indeed be the final installment in the series. Now, there's no release date on this one yet, but supposedly we're getting one in E3 as well as some new gameplay information. Next, let's jump into some maybe sorta kinda sequel spin-off-y things. First up, if you're into Minecraft, you might enjoy the release of Story Mode. Now, this is not, from my understanding, just an addition onto the existing platform, but an entirely new Minecraft experience driven by player choice and narrative. And then there's Fable Legends. Now, this thing is set 400 years before the events of the first game in the Fable series. This is easily one of the most ambitious games to be featured at this year's E3, being developed to be playable only online, as well as use smart glass tech as an integral part of the game. Now, what makes this one even more interesting is that it's not your typical Fable game. Basically, it's a cooperative / competitive title in which 4 heroes go up against one villain, all of whom are controlled by players. Next up, let's talk new properties. Now, this is always the section I'm most excited about, and this year we've got some doozies coming our way. First up, Blizzard is not slowing down in their relentless search of new gigantic properties. This year the story for them has been their MOBA Heroes of the Storm. Next year it'll be their shooter Overwatch, and at E3 we can expect to get a little more information about this much anticipated title from the company that is ramping up for a very big 2016, including the release of their feature film Warcraft. But Blizzard's not the only old dog with new tricks at this year's E3. Tom Clancy's The Division also seems poised to do anything but disappoint. This game has been in development for quite some time, and honestly, rightfully so in my opinion. Now, this has been advertised as one of those game changers that only comes along every once in a while. I featured it in my top 10 MMOs to look forward to this year, which you can check out here if you'd like, and for good reason. Set in the post-pathogenic desolation of a fallen New York City, this game promises a sleek, modern, interesting gameplay style, massive world, and much more. Now, even though we've got tons of information on this game already, E3 should give us even more juicy stuff to sink our teeth into. Last up on my list of crap to be stoked about comes the rumor mill. Now, these are all games that little flies are buzzing about making some kind of appearance at E3, but what they'll have to say is anyone's guess. Unsurprisingly, these are all sequels or expansions on existing franchises. Also, unsurprisingly, we know very little about most of them. First up is Borderlands 3. Now, this one may or may not appear, and little is known about it at all. Still, if history is any indication, whatever they've got planned is going to be awesome, I'm sure. Next up is one that I actually didn't know about until very recently. I'm talking Mass Effect 4. Yeah, that's right, dude. If you didn't know, they're still going to try and milk this cash cow for everything it's worth. But how in the world could they possibly continue the Commander Shepard story? Well, they can't, and they've already said that they won't. Beyond that, we've been told that hanging on to our save files from previous Mass Effects is a good idea, and we've also been shown some hardcore artwork. There's also been some hints that we can expect a big Dragon Age Inquisition influence here. All in all, this one could end up being fantastic and a complete reboot for a series that left a lot of people, including me, disappointed with the last installment, or it could end up being a complete letdown. Hopefully, whatever is headed for E3 with Mass Effect 4 will give us a bigger hint as to which way this one's going to go in the future. For our very last entry on my list of things to look forward to this year is a game that is very near and dear to my heart, Fallout 4. Honestly, this one has been swirling around the rumor mill since Fallout 3 came out. Gamers everywhere were expecting either an Elder Scrolls 6 update or one from Fallout 4 from Bethesda. Well, it looks like at this point Elder Scrolls is out and Fallout is in. And quite frankly, all the stars seem to be aligning at this point for some big Fallout related something or other. Personally, I'm leaning toward a trailer, maybe with a little bit of gameplay in it, but we'll just have to wait 2 more weeks to find out at E3. So what are you looking forward to from E3 2015? Leave a comment below and let me know. I have been the Higgs from MMOplay.com. This has been an episode of MMO Play Dailies. Be sure to thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video like a venereal disease. I'll see you all tomorrow.